Hello everyone, welcome to the tables lesson of OL3600. Today we're going to learn about how you can create accessible tables in Canvas. To do this, you start by clicking the table icon and specifying the number of rows and columns you want in this table. For this example, I'm going to create a simple table with information about the lessons in this course, and I just need 2 columns and 4 rows. So the first header row is going to say lesson number, and in the second column it's going to say lesson name. And then we just fill in the table with our information. So quickly I'll do this so we have an example to work with. And then I'm going to save the page. Now, you might think this is all you need to do to create an accessible table, but as you might have learned in this lesson, there's a few extra steps you need to take. For one thing, this table doesn't have a caption, and it also doesn't have a real header row specified in the code. So to fix these issues, we're going to select the table again, go into the table properties, and check the caption checkbox. This will allow us to add a caption to the page. But that's not all we have to do. We also have to designate the first row as a header row. So if I select this row here, this time I'm going to open up the table menu again, but go to row and select row properties. Here I can change row type from body to header. Alternatively, you can create a table and use the accessibility checker icon to more easily make these changes. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to simply exit the page and reset to before we made those changes in the table editor. Now, instead of going to the table menu to add the caption and the header row, I'm going to simply select the check accessibility icon, and it's going to tell me a couple things. First, I need a caption. So I'll add that here, apply those changes. And then second, it's going to notice there's not a header row. So here you can either designate a header row, a header column, or both a header row and column if your table requires it. In this case, we just need a header row, so I'm going to select that from the drop-down menu. Once I apply those changes, it tells me that my table is fully accessible and there's no other changes that I need to make. Depending on the complexity of your table, more steps may be needed to make it completely accessible, such as also including a summary, splitting it into multiple tables, or even recreating it in another format altogether. But for most simple tables in Canvas, these steps will allow you to create one that is accessible for all students. Now that you know how to create accessible tables in Canvas, you can continue on to the quiz for this lesson. Thanks for watching.